What's going on, guys? It's your Daily Gamer, and today I'm going to try something a little different. I've been playing a lot of matches, and I've been noticing that some guys don't really know how to fly the helicopter. So I'm going to teach you that today. It's very basic. I'm not going to teach you any like crazy maneuvers or anything like that. But so what we're going to do is we're going to go into training, and then we're going to click on Jensen's range. And we're going to fly the Blackhawk. Again, this is nothing crazy. This is going to be a pretty simple kind of way to start out to get you ready to at least fly in a match safely without crashing and pissing people off. So we're going to click on the pilot loadout, because otherwise you won't be able to fly in a real match. And we're going to go over to the Blackhawk. And then, so you just hold F to get in. So now that we're in the Blackhawk, there's a few things I'm going to teach you here. The first thing is starting it. You're going to hold E. And it takes a minute for it to kind of get ready. You can't really take off without it being at full power. So the next thing is kind of cool. You can hold shift and you can look at your gauges. So on the left, on the first one to the right, where it has where it says landed, you're gonna see a little bar on the left where it's right now it says 0, and essentially it's pretty key. W and S is what controls that. It's your collective, and essentially what that does is it raises and lowers, and at 0, as you can see, I'm hovering. Now, the reason that's important, and here I'm showing you the camera, this is, you can essentially land from higher up and drop straight down on an area. That's C, it's your landing camera. And so I think what I'm doing here is I'm going to teach you how to land. And so when you take off, you want to hold W and raise your collective all the way up. It's essentially controls like how fast you can go. When you're flying in the air, you want that to be full, otherwise you're not going to go very fast. And if you pitch too far forward and try to recover from crashing, it won't recover because the power is not full. So when you're flying, pretty much any time that you're trying to get somewhere, you want that collective to be 100%. And when I'm flying, what I do is A and D, that controls your rotating. So if you hit A, you'll rotate right. Left. If you hold D, you'll rotate right. And I use that when I'm turning with the mouse. So anytime you go into, like right here, I'm going into a right turn, I'm pushing the mouse to the right while keeping my pitch forward and pressing D. Here I'm doing the opposite, doing A and pushing the mouse left. So here I have my collective is pretty low because I'm coming in for a landing. When I'm approaching a landing, I'm at 50%, and what that is that helps you hover. When you're pitching forward in the hover, you will continue to descend at a very gradual rate depending on how far forward you pitch. So that essentially controls your gradual decline when you're trying to land. So I would recommend, if you're ever in 50%, don't like push forward on the mouse a lot to pitch forward, because you will crash. Keeping your collective when you're landing at a kind of 50% area is the best, or like gradually below. Here I'm showing you all the things you can do. So essentially helicopters are meant for troop transport and supplies. Here you can see all the options. You can load supplies, building supplies, ammo, and the helicopter also allows you to switch kits if you're infantry. Just good to know. Again, this video is for newcomers that are getting into squad for the first time. I would not recommend practicing in a match. Do it in training because, again, you will piss a lot of people off. When I started flying, I started in training. Essentially, shout out to Karma Cut, but he's the one that really told people to when you start out, you only want to be like infantry, like riflemen, even maybe medic. You really want to start out like low of the low because there's a lot of things per class, I guess, that they do things and they take practice. So if you are new to the game, I would not recommend doing this in a match. Do this in training. Same with any other class. Do everything in a training. It just gets you well acclimated to that class. Right here, I'm going to show you how to land in a tight spot. Again, this is going to take a lot of practice, and this is probably the better way to practice is just try landing kind of close to the range that doesn't have those little shelters over the top. Keep in mind your propellers, if they touch anything, they will break and you will be stuck wherever you're landing. If you do break the propellers, you'll have to repair, and probably if you're close to enemies, you'll die. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I don't really have any other advice. I know I'm going to be showing you how to land with just the camera. And again, the collective, or throttle, if you want to call it a throttle, it's called a collective. That's it's very, very important to get that down. And if you just pay attention to that very first screen on the right on your helicopter's console, it'll show you. Right now mine's at almost 50%, and it's the bar next to the, oh, missed it, but it was the bar next to where it tells you what you're tilting at and if you're level to the ground. So here, this is the landing camera. Press C again, and as you can see, to the right tells you altitude, and then it has pitch and roll. You want to keep a close eye on that stuff. I mean, it doesn't, when you're in this mode, it doesn't pitch the helicopter a lot, but I would just still be very careful when you're using the mouse, because you can crash that way. I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure it's definitely possible. And then again, when you land, if you're for some reason getting out of the game or something, make sure you bring the helicopter back. Make sure that when you do land, don't leave the helicopter running. If you're leaving a game, turn it off so that the next person that can use it, obviously. The other thing is load it up. That's the Russian variant. That thing flies like a tank, so if you are a beginner, I would recommend flying the Blackhawk first. And yeah, I think that's going to conclude my tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my video, as I'm a new channel and could definitely use the support. It'd be much appreciated. Yeah, catch you on the next one. This is your Daily Gamer, and see you guys.